Hello and welcome to Curry TV. On this episode, it's a special episode. I'm dedicating this one for my husband. So for this one, I'm going to make his favorite meal. So this is not the authentic version that some regions may call it. This is my version. So welcome to Curry TV. Yeah. So for this recipe, I'm going to be making beef with green plantain. So let's take a look at all the ingredients that we'll be using for this recipe. This is good type top sirloin that I got. Now I did not cut this. This is 2 pounds worth of beef. I wanted to show you. So there's a little bit of fat in this, right? There's a little bit of fat and there's fat running through the meat. That's very, very important. When you choose your beef, choose the one with a little bit of fat running through the meat. That will add more flavor to your recipe, your curry. So that this is 2 pounds. I'll show you how to cut them. And for that size, I'm going to be using 4 to 5. Now, typically in India, they use the big, raw, green plantains. But because it's winter here, I can't get my hands on one or two green plantains that I would love to use. So I went to my Asian store and this is what I got. So this is 4 green plantains that I'm going to be using for this recipe, along with some of you have been asking, what is pearl onions, what is shallots, what's the difference? So I want to show you that. See this is pearl onion and this is shallots and this is regular onion. So you could use white or yellow or red, whatever you get your hands on, but definitely use a few. I'm using 7 pearl onions here and 3 shallots. This is also for marinating this beef. And we'll be needing a little bit of garlic. Not a little bit. I'm going to be going generous amount with this garlic. So we will need to peel all this along with some ginger and about 9 green chilies. This is Thai chilies. These guys do have a good kick to it. Now, my recipe, I try to reduce the red chili in my recipes because I feel, especially in my recipes that I'm focusing more on Kerala, the Kerala recipes taste better when you use fresh ingredients such as green chilies, black pepper, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to be using. This is about 9 green chilies. Of course, what curry without curry leaves, right? So this is fresh curry leaves. There's about 3 stems here. Now let's talk about spices. Spices, I have turmeric powder. So turmeric powder, this is regular turmeric powder that you can buy at your Asian market. Red chili powder, this is half and half. So I have half nice spicy red chili powder along with half of paprika or Kashmiri chili for that matter. So it gives a nice rich red look, yet the spice level will be reduced. Okay, and this is homemade garam masala, coriander powder, there's fennel and cumin. So this is fennel and this is cumin. So we need fresh of these in our recipe and I'll show you how to use that. Now I'm going to be using fresh black pepper and red chilies. This is dried red chilies that I'm going to be using as flakes. Now it's very important that we use these two so that we can reduce the red chili powder that we use in this recipe, along with, of course, seasoning. Of course, we need our salt. Now my salt may not be your level, but try it out. Okay, it's a very healthy recipe. All right, there you see, I'm back with all my ingredients prepped and ready to go. First foremost, we need to marinate our beef. So first goes in half a spoon of salt. Okay, and we need garam masala. Now that's 3/4 of a spoon full of garam masala. We need 1/4 spoon of turmeric powder, half a spoon of coriander powder. Red chili powder is according to your spiciness. So I'm adding half right now because I'm going to be adding more spices later on. Now we need to marinate that with ginger, garlic, and some pearl onions. So what I'm going to do with these, crush them in our motor mix over there. Okay, all of this goes in here along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we need half of it for the when we do the jagged thing, right? And 1, 2, 3 green chilies, a good portion of ginger, right? And now we need to smash that. Okay. All right, I have smashed all our ingredients together, which is ginger, garlic, green chilies, and our pearl onions. So let's get that into our marinade. I'm just leaving a bit back, so I'll show you. Let's marinate our beef with all the spices and our fresh ingredients. Okay, we're gonna put all this into a cooker. So this is a pressure cooker. If you have an Instapot, you can use that. I'm just using with my old handy dandy pressure cooker here. That's all good. I'm not putting any water or broth in here because that beef is going to release all its flavor into that while it's cooking. Now, some of you were asking, how does an Indian pressure cooker work? So just like an Instapot, this is our materials for our pressure cooker. So this comes with a washer, and the washer already has a dot on it, so that dot goes into the rim. So as you can see on this is the dot. It goes into the rim, which will seal very well, right? And this is the whistle. Every so often you do need to take this apart and clean it. Now this is all ready to go, and this is how we close our pressure cooker. So you put it in diagonally and you twist and then you pull in. Got it? One more time. So just like that. The lid will now go in just like that. Okay? So we're gonna twist it, dip it in, turn around, and squish it in. That's how the trick is. Okay? So we're gonna put this on the stove for the pressure will release 3 whistles for this meat. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. 3 whistles on medium heat. So, okay, medium heat goes that. Let that baby sit. Now let's talk to you about our green plantains. The ideal portion is you do more of the plantain versus the beef, because that adds more flavor to it. Now into this, we need to saute this. We need shallots, and the onion, I didn't use all of it. I just used half of it. So that is towards the end where we use it. So on a different pan, let's start our cooking process for the green plantain. For that, we need a good spoonful of coconut oil. Now, if you don't like coconut oil, you can use vegetable oil. But for this recipe, I would recommend using coconut oil. Okay, our pan is nice and hot. Let's add in our good spoonful of coconut oil. It's hardcore winter here, so that's why my coconut oil is hardest. Okay, just coating my pan. Now we need that set aside crushed ginger, garlic, shallots, pearl onions, and green chilies. Next goes in half of our onion. Green chilies, I'm just going to break them apart so it's easier for the kids to throw it out in case if they don't want it. That's 5 of them. Let's give it a good mix. Next goes in not even a full quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder. We're just flavoring the oil. a little bit of half a teaspoon of red chili powder. Okay. 1 full stem of curry leaves, all in here. Next goes all of our green plantain into this mix. Now if you notice, I did not take up the skin. It's really good for you, so some people may like to have a little bit of that gone, but I like mine. I washed it very well before I cut them up. Okay, let's cover this and cook for like 5 minutes or so. We don't want it to be completely cooked because we're going to add our beef into this and cook again. So at this stage, I'm going to cover this and cook for about 5 minutes. Make sure it doesn't cook out completely because we need to add our beef into this mix and then cook it so that the plantain absorbs all that flavor of beef. So while our green plantains are cooking, let's get our spices for the beef ready. We're going to be using half a spoon of cumin, 3/4 spoonful of fennel, okay, black pepper, we need 1.5 spoon. Last but not least, we need a few red chilies. Let's crush them. So as you've seen, this is actually coarse. That's the best thing. And as I'm adding this, I'm going to taste it every single step of the way. So if you don't like this flavor, don't add too much. You won't need those whole spices. You can keep it, store it in a nice airtight container. When you make for the next recipe, you can use the same thing. This is my powdered whole spices. I'm going to keep that aside. Well, I'm going to crush in a whole green chili and a little bit of the ginger and few garlic. Okay, perfect. You see, this is added towards the end. It's time to check on our plantains. They have come to a nice tender stage. I didn't add salt to it yet. We're going to wait. Beautiful. This is ready now. Let's season that with a little bit of salt. Okay. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to convert all this into a different container, and we're going to take the beef, just the beef, and saute that with our onions, shallots, and the whole spices that we have crushed right now, and then bring in that broth later and add it to this and mix well. It'll come to a nice dry stage, and that's perfect. I'll show you how that looks like. Alright, so I just converted all our plantains into a container, and I'm just going to open and see how our beef is doing. Wow. Okay. Without pouring any broth or water, there was this much stock came out of this beef. Beef is well cooked. Add in rest of our coconut oil. So the remaining half a teaspoon of coconut oil. Next goes in our fresh curry leaves and all of our rest of the red onion. This was half. I already added the half in our green plantain. The rest goes in here. Let's saute this and add in all our crushed ginger, garlic, and green chili into this. it's time to add in our beef and its stock. All of it goes in. Now it's time to add in our spices, the whole spices that we have crushed. This is the time to introduce our spices into our beef. So I'm going to add 1 spoon at a time into this recipe. So that was the whole spices that we had crushed earlier, which was the black pepper, the cumin, the fennel, and our red dried chilies. Okay, at this stage we need to add in our green plantains, which is already somewhat cooked. So let's add it to this recipe. Give it a good mix. Okay, I just checked my spices, so we need to add 1 more spoon. Okay, last but not least, we need to add in our shallots. Okay, let that moisture evaporate and then we'll come to its final stages. Right now we should also check on our salt and our black pepper. So all the moisture has evaporated. Let's add in half a teaspoon of garam masala towards the end. And mix it well. So far we have used 2 spoonfuls of the whole spices that we have crushed. There's a little bit more left in case if you want to add more, but this is perfect for my family. You got to play with that spice because it all depends on your beef and the good quality of beef. It always varies, so that's why I couldn't give you a precise measurement on how much you would need. So I just eyeballed it. Anyway, we just ended up using 2 tablespoonfuls of that whole spice crushed. And lastly, we just did our garam masala. As you can see, there's no moisture at all. This is perfectly done, right? Now we just turn off the stove and plate it. All right, there you have it. This is our beef with green plantain. It's very traditional. It's not the authentic version, but it's definitely something that you can try and enjoy these flavors. It'll be a unique flavor. If you want to have this with rice, even better. Try this recipe out. I am sure, guaranteed, you will love it. Underlined. All right? So I'll hope to see you next time. Stay tuned for more videos on Curry TV. And thanks to all those who have subscribed to our channel. We love it. And those who haven't yet still watching, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you'll be also notified when the next video is uploaded. Yeah, I'm sure you want to know that because we are always bringing in variety, new, challenging, fun videos always to our Curry TV channel. I hope to hear from you. Thanks. Bye-bye.